Hey folks, welcome back. It's the Big Barn Builder. It's a really exciting day today because we start on the cladding, and this is the long awaited moment. So as you saw in the last video, we got all of our purlins up in place. We're using those as our horizontal supports. We think that's going to be a good option. We've got the fixings. We've even made a first cut, and it's all ready to go. We're going to make sure they're cleaned off before they go up. These were the top sheets, so they got loads of Sahara dust on them and all sorts of going on. So we're probably going to wash them off. But the fixings are here. Let me show you the fixings. So these are a much more discreet version of a normal tech screw. You can see they're dome headed. They've got a little Torx bit, and they've still got a rubber gasket. So we're hoping that those, and we've had them powder coated black as well, we're hoping with those sat in the valleys of the corrugations will give a really discreet look rather than having the big chunky plastic caps. For the Roman shield. Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, what was that? A bird just...
No way.
Yeah, seagull. A rotter.
Okay.
Right, it's been a slow but steady start getting a rhythm. We're loving the fixings. The fixings are really discreet. You can barely see them when you're looking at an angle. It's almost just like a giant rivet or something. And it's set back in. So happy with those. Obviously there will be stitches to go up there, so you will see those ones. But apart from that, it's looking good. So this one's been cut around the top. That can go on, and we're just mapping out, we're just marking them with a piece of the kids' chalk. The top one we can fix in afterwards once we've got the scissor lift back in action. Tom's got his fancy saw blade, so with the track saw they're ending up really nice and neat, and we're using the factory cut end to go down just because I don't know what they use, some sort of shear. It does distort the end of it, it kind of bends it down a little bit, but there's no burrs, it's a really clean finish, so we're using that as the bottom. day 2 of cladding, and finally the wind has stopped, so hopefully we can get these up nice and safely. We're actually on shorter lengths now because we jumped up on top of the oak. So we've got a nice little L section Tom's doing now, which is going to go up and over the top. We're just sorting out the drip edge on top there, and I'll show you that once it goes in. This is what the fixings are looking like now. Now it's had a bit of rain overnight. Really nice and discreet. I'm very pleased with those. I'll leave a link. We used a place called Fixing Point for those. They actually supply some of the stuff when we came to see the roof as well. But they can colour code these to anything really. And they've colour matched our rivets to black as well. So this is one detail we'll have to do in the future once we've got them measured up. But this, we could just leave it like this, which is kind of how it was before, cladding over block. But we got the feeling that as time goes on and rain comes down here, we might end up with some weird streaking and these would age differently. So we're going to put a discreet little trim under here, and that'll act like a sill. And what we've done is we've actually bumped these sheets up by 1 brick, so it's the same height as our windowsill. And there's a couple of places where this sill will actually butt up against the windowsill. So we're actually going to match, although one's aluminium, one's steel. Here we've got an oak post, so it doesn't really show, but we're going to match this drip edge height to the drip edge we're going to get made up in the steel, just so it kind of runs through the same. We'll only see probably 5 mil of this in front, so it's just going to tuck up behind. There's enough give here, and if we're tight on any of the bricks, we can just slacken off a screw there, slide it up, and we're just going to do a couple of rivets, or a rivet in line with those. And I think that's better, rather than taking it all the way up and fixing it to this. The reason we don't want to do that is this. For some reason, when they make these Z purlins, they're never kind of perpendicular faces, so this angles back, and I think I would just throw the sill, and every one of these is ever so slightly different. So if we know this is plumb, we can get it on the back of there, and it should just sit even all the way along. That's the plan anyway. Tommy Snips is making up some fancy ends. We found a way that we could, even though this is up out of eyesight really, do some cutting and bending and snipping, just so when you look up, this is the end of the drip sill above the oak, it carries around. Otherwise you just have a 10 mil gap at the end. Most of that's hidden, but I think that's going to look nice and smart up there. And we'll do the same at the other end. We were just waiting to work out what our vertical trim is, and then it's going to sit here, and there's a slit there which it will come into, and then this vertical trim will slide up underneath the sill. Sorry. So you can send this up, can you? Pardon? Send this up. Okay? Yeah. So I don't have to lift anything. Now I'm sure with this edit it's making it look far easier than it really was. In actual fact, there was quite a lot of recuts to do. As much as you can measure and measure twice, measure 3 times, it's pretty hard going because these things are 3-4 meters long. We're trying to get the angles right and the cutouts around windows and doors. So there was a lot of up and down and recutting, but it doesn't make for good content. However, you guys will appreciate this fail because this is the 4th attempt at getting this L section cut right. And we're taking it up and down, making small adjustments. We want it nice and tight to the oak. It's got to have an even drip, not too much of a gap because insects can get in. It's got to have the right angle up against the roof. And on the 4th or maybe 5th attempt at getting this in place, well, I'll let you see what happened. This was probably, well, it's a good idea that we went on time lapse because there was no audio. Good news is we had a template to work from, kind of, bit of a crumpled one. But we got that down and it wasn't long before we had our next one cut ready, and that was up in place. So we did get our measurements right eventually, and then it's on to easier sections above these long windows and above the oak. There's a lot of head scratching to go because all of this is non-standard. There's nothing standard about this build, so we're kind of making it up as we go along, kind of making up how we do the trims, what we like and what works. And of course, oak moves. There's a little bit of bowing and cupping and twisting, so we've got to work with all that, and we want to make sure that this really sets the oak off when it's finished. Right, good progress before lunch. I say good progress. We had a bit of a fail, and I'm not sure if we caught it on our time lapse, but as we took the scissor lift up the top of one of the sheets, which we'd already had to take up and down several times, just caught the Z pull in, and only 2 inches of movement, and it crumpled it. So we've got our 30mm little sill above, but we've packed that up on the batten, so at least it shows all of the oak. We haven't lost any of that. And we will, now we know where we're finishing, we're going to be ordering some trims. So there'll be a little L trim just sat in here, which will go up and match that 30mm, so it'll kind of frame the oak. It's very windy, I'm afraid, so and we're obviously on the GoPro because everything broke and the camera's not going off for getting fixed and things like that, but hopefully you can bear with us. So we kind of had the tricky bit, a couple of easy ones, and now we're back to tricky. So if I show you how it's looking up here, we've got a skinny which we've cut that's going to go in against that oak, but now we are working our way up to this top. Now the top doesn't have any Z purlins, so what we decided we're going to do is build not quite a stud wall, but we're going to put a timber up here, timber down into our oak at the right distance, so it'll be in line with what the Z purlins are down there, and then we can fix our cladding to that. But we've obviously got our little drip trim, and although there's hardly any water going to be getting here, we just think it will look better to frame the oak the same. So we're going to put that on here, and we just need to mount that onto a batten as well, so it's the same height, so we get to see all of this lovely chunky oak. It's a new week, the sun is out, and really this video should have been out as well, but we've got slightly delayed with editing and things like that, so you get to see even more of the cladding, and I think we might even get to the end today. But have a look at how we're getting. We've got about 5 more sheets to go. We're just getting this L section in to get us above the window, then a couple of easy ones, then another scribe, and then we'll see what we end up with at the far end. Kind of liking the clean look, because when you get to this angle you can't really see anything protruding, and the lips are almost, well, they're very rigid as it is, but we'll make a decision on that. We've used a couple of rivets up the top where we trimmed up over the oak, and they're pretty discreet, so we might go with those if we need to. Well, there we go. We are 4 days in, or just under, and you're seeing this pretty much live. This was about 3 hours ago before I uploaded the video. So we've got 2 little sections to finish off tomorrow, and then we can call this wall done, apart from a few little trims, which we can come back and do. So it's all gone pretty well. Not an easy task, but what we have realised is this would be a horrible job without a scissor lift. So we might hit pause on the other end of the building, find something else to do until we've got a concrete slab or concrete terrace down there, and at that point we can telehandler or drive this thing round somehow, and then we'll have a safe working platform to go up and down and get all those in. There's some even taller sheets that end, so I think it'll be well worth us just pausing a couple of weeks, and then we can get down there and do it properly. Let us know what you think. I'll try and do a big reveal in a video coming up soon, and we can show the whole of the front all finished, minus the trims and the barge boards, but we'll get those on soon as well. I hope you've enjoyed that. Any questions, let us know. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.